not a game, it's a rich thing.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, and for those that are new, welcome to another episode of Sisterly Saga. Today's episode, period, boo, is about the Goma sheets and who caught the Popo.
It's gonna be a story time. So yeah, tune in. We're about to get nice and juicy.
Get into it, and Paul.
Okay, y'all, welcome back. We're about to get into this story. I'm gonna get first. I'm gonna let y'all guess whose story is which part, the title. But I was in this long ass relationship. Melanie's over here dancing, by the way. You gotta watch our video. It's on YouTube. We record the whole podcast. But anyway, I was in this long ass relationship and it had ended because he was a liar.
Lying,
and I remember, so prior to this day, we had broke up, but he needed a ride for some reason to Williamsburg or something like that. He needed a ride. So he called me to ask me if I could take him to Williamsburg. It was the 4th of July. I will never forget.
4th of July.
So I was texting my guy friend, and me and him were going to go see the fireworks that night. So I text, we're going to call him the ex. I text the ex, and I was like, hey, are you ready? I'm going to take you to Williamsburg right quick and come back. A thing with me, I'm not going to lie. If I have no reason to lie. We're not together.
Right.
So he's like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, me and my friend blankety blank, we're going to go see the fireworks. So he got mad over the phone, but then he was like, all right, cool, I'll text you when I'm ready to leave. I was like, okay, cool. So somehow, and it's a little bit foggy, he went through my phone. Oh, okay, I remember. So I went over there to go pick him up, right? And I had my nephew in the car with me. So he was going to ride with me to Williamsburg to get him out the house. Okay. So we go over there, and I'm like, the ex, get in the car. And he's like, okay. So he gets in the car. My nephew gets in the back seat, and he grabs my phone. Back in the day, we really didn't have, at least I didn't have passwords on my phone.
Yeah.
So he pulled up my phone, and I'm not thinking anything of it because I already told you what I was doing today.
Right.
So I guess he thought I was lying. So he's scrolling through the text read with me and my friend. And he's like, oh, so you really about to go hang out with this nigga and go see the fireworks? I'm like, yeah, bro. We've been broken up for this one. I was thinking it was at least a month. And I was like, yeah, I told you earlier. You thought I was lying. That's your fault. So he got mad, started cussing, took my phone, and got out the car, right? So my nephew, remind you, was in the back seat. So I didn't want him to freak out. And my ex, he stayed 3 minutes from mom.
Yeah.
And Melanie was at mom's house.
Posting up.
So I go back to mom's house, and Melanie was sitting at the table. I would never forget. Melanie was sitting at the kitchen table, and I just walked in very calm because I didn't want anyone else to know. And I was like, Melanie, I need to tell you something.
I can already feel it when she came in the house. She looked kind of out of it. So I followed her in the back of the house.
Yeah, so we went into mom's room, and I told her the whole story of what happened. And this nigga still has my phone. So she was like, oh, okay, boom, we about to call him. So we called my phone, and didn't he answer? You remember what he said?
Yeah, he answered the phone. He was like, hello. And I said, where you at? And he was like, I'm not telling you where we are. I said, all right, cool, bet. And we went on our investigation.
Okay, so yeah, so they didn't tell us where we were. Mind you, it's 4th of July, so it's hot as hell.
Hot.
I'm going to tell you what me and Melanie had on. Melanie had on a really cute dress and some flip-flops, I think. And I think I had on maybe
a pair of ripped jeans.
A pair of ripped jeans, still flip-flops, and just a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So it's the second part of my mom's neighborhood. There's a cut that cut through a neighborhood
with railroad tracks
that he used to stay in with railroad tracks. So I don't know how we knew
because I was on the hunt.
So he used to walk through this path all the time to come to my mom's house. But so I think I just thought, oh, Melanie, let's sit at the end of the path and see if he comes out
just
first.
Watch.
And he did.
With bird
he
watching.
came out of the path, y'all, like right out the path. And then I was like, oh shoot. So
I had a Mustang too. So
yeah.
He recognized my car.
Yeah. So when he saw me and Melanie, I feel like I'm yelling at y'all. I'm gonna be quiet. So he saw me and Melanie, because I remember it. He saw me and Melanie, and he like turned around. He was like, "Oh shoot!" That's how I feel like. And like he was gone. So hood ass Melanie was like, "Boom!" She like put the car. I feel like he was already in park, but we hopped out that car so fast with flip flops. Melanie's in a sundress. Yeah. We walk on this hot ass railroad track, y'all. Looking for this, mind you, he ran on the railroad track. We can't run on a railroad track with flip flops. Okay.
So after we couldn't find him, I said, let's just get in the car and just roll out.
Right. So we were probably walking the railroad tracks for maybe like 2-3 minutes.
I don't know. It was just hot.
It was sweating. It was the 4th of July. It was hot as hell.
It was hot.
Every part and crevice was sweating. Everything. So we got back in the car, but I knew where he stayed. I know where his homeboy stayed. Like I knew where you hang out. So I was like, all right, let's go to his mom's house. He wasn't at his mom's house. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have a car, so I really didn't know if he was in his mom's house. But there was no cars down there, and it just seemed empty. So next to his mom's house is another neighborhood around the cut. And I was like, okay, man, let's go to his friend's house. We'll call him Sam. So we like went over there to Sam's house, and Sam was outside.
Sam was outside walking. So I rolled down the window, and I was like, hey, Sam, have you seen the ex? And he was like, no. Mind you, we saw someone running when we pulled up. So Melanie was like, I got hood.
She was like, so who was that? Who was that running? And he was like, oh, no. Mind you, Sam, he was funny as hell, but he was so nice. He was always nice to me. He was like, oh, no, man. No, that's not him. That's my mama. So I was like, your mama got on basketball shoes.
Running on some tracks.
Running around. So she was like, oh, no, you can help us find him. Get in the car, right? I don't think Sam had on shoes.
He didn't have any shoes.
He had no shirt on, basketball shorts, and no shoes.
He had socks on.
Okay.
He had socks and flip-flops.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Why he has
he had socks on. He had
no
socks
shoes,
on.
just take socks off. Okay. So, that's a pet peeve. Just take socks off. So, mind you, Melanie had a Mustang. So I had to get out of the car so he can climb in the back. So he climbs in the back of the car.
I made him go on this hunt.
Yeah, she was like, get in the car now. And he was trying to, no, man, no. Mel was like, get in the car. So I just like open the door, put the seat up, get in the car. She said, get in the car. So he gets in the car and we like riding around and getting it. Like looking for the ex. We cannot find him anywhere. And at this point, like I was just getting so upset. So we dropped Sam back off at his house after we were riding
in the middle of the street
for like 10 minutes.
I don't know how long it was, but I had him in the back seat.
And I was like, I was just like getting so mad to the point like of tears, like that mad. And I was like, just forget it. Like I'll figure it out. And then we were like, let's go to McDonald's, right? Yeah. So we were driving towards McDonald's, and I was like, let's just ride by his house one more time, right? So we rode by his house, well, his mother's house, he stayed with his mom. So we rode by his mom's house one more time, and this nigga was outside.
Yeah.
He was outside. When I tell y'all, Melanie put that car in park so fast.
And hopped out.
And it was parked perfectly. It was just like she just got out, hopped out, and she went straight hood. Like that P-Town came out real quick. She was like,
I'm not from P-Town.
You were born in P-Town. What you want to claim, Greenbrier?
The Greenbrier came out because I'm not from P-Town. I was just born in Newell Hospital.
Well, Greenbrier don't sound that hood.
Well, maybe it was something else that came out, but it won't. No P-Town. Okay. Anyway,
that downtown suburb.
That downtown North Carolina came out. That Durham came out.
So yeah. So Melanie gets out the car faster than me, and then I go behind her, and she was just like, "Dax, what the hell, man? What are you doing? Where's my sister's phone? Where's her phone?" Okay, side note, y'all, before we found him, he had been calling Melanie's phone, like being an asshole from my phone.
Yeah.
Like, just like taunting me with my phone. So we were mad. So Melanie gets out of the car.
what the hell, the ex? Where my sister's phone? Da, 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 da. So somehow
We got on the side of the house.
we got on the side of the house, and I'm like searching him like I'm the cops, like patting him down, looking, and he just like that moment he was not the same. Like I could
His
just
whole
see
face changed.
it was like a switch.
Yeah.
Like he just switched to someone like I
Yeah.
didn't know, I didn't recognize, and it was just
You met
weird.
the real him. That's what that was.
Well, we dated for like 4 years, so I
But-
feel like it would have came out before. But anyway,
No.
it was like a switch. Like he just turned into like a different person. Cause I could not always get my way, but like he would eventually give it. So I didn't think it was ever going to get this far. But anyway, it was like the switch, and I like saw it. Melanie sensed it, and he was like not giving me my phone. So I'm like, and it was like no emotion on his face. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this
He didn't
show
care.
some emotion. So I grabbed his nutsack and started squeezing the hell out of his nuts. Just like, oh, you gonna show me some reaction. And then he like, not pushed me, because I feel like that sounds violent.
No, he did. He shoved you.
But he
And
didn't
I
shove
went
me
off.
hard. And Melanie like went
I
off,
lost it.
cussed him
I lost
out,
it.
and then she was like, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna call the cops.
No, I choked him first.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Melanie,
I just don't call the cops. I try to resolve the issue.
He was light skinned. So Melanie choked him.
After
I'm choking his
after
nuts.
I saw him touch you and shoved you like that, knowing what I went through with my ex-husband.
Yeah, okay. See, I didn't put that together then.
Okay.
But he pushed me and I came back. So Melanie's choking him. I got pushed before, but I came back. So she's choking his neck. I'm choking the other one. And we're
choking him.
we're just choking him, right? And then he turns red. And this whole point, I still can't find my phone. I don't know where it is. Did he tell you at that point where it was?
He threw it across the fence.
Did he tell you when the cops came? I think he told you when the cops
I don't
came.
know what it is. Yeah, after the cops came, he told me where it was.
So Melanie called the cops, and I'm like, Melanie, don't call the cops. And she's like,
he
no, I'm
touched
gonna
you,
call the cops.
yeah.
He fucking touched you. No, I'm gonna call the cops. So
Right. Like,
cops came, and they pulled him aside. It was 2 cops. They pulled me aside, pulled him aside, and they
by this
asked.
time I had no shoes on.
Right,
My
so
shoes
as
off.
soon as the cops came, he immediately said what the phone was. He was like, I threw it into the neighbor's yard. So did you hop the fence at one point?
Girl, I hopped the fence. I'm on other people's door.
Oh, no. One of the cops went with Melanie to knock on the door so she can get in their backyard and search the
I didn't have
backyard.
any shoes on. Their backyard looked like Brillo pad grass.
It looked like our background. It was the forest. And so while Melanie's searching the jungle for my phone in the neighbor's backyard, me and him are talking to the cops separately. So I don't know what they said.
I went to their house twice.
Yeah.
The first time the cops wasn't with me. The second time they were.
Right. So he must have told us where the phone was before the
Yeah.
cops came. So they were like, did he hit you? And I'm like, no, he didn't hit me. And then they were like, we just think that you guys should just stay apart. And I was like, yeah, no, I just want my phone.
That's it.
Like he took my phone and threw it. And they were like, well, we just think you guys should stay separate. No, really. Duh. Didn't find my phone. Melanie searched the jungle. It was nowhere to be found. And we got in the car. And I think when we get in the car, like, I just broke down.
You did.
It was just
And
too
then when
much.
she cried, I started crying because I was upset.
I was just crying because I was mad. Like,
To this day, I don't like him.
yeah, to this day,
I can't stand him.
she really doesn't
I
like
have no
him.
respect for him. I don't want to look at him. When I see him, I just want to hit him.
She want to choke him again.
Because what I saw him do to my sister just triggered me to do what I did. And it was all out of self-defense. Like, don't shove her. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was definitely like, but then why did, we won't get into that. Because the ex too pushed me too. But not like, see, when I say push, I don't think the ex we're talking about now, I don't think it was like get out of my way.
No, he hit you in your chest.
Oh, see, I don't remember.
I do.
See.
He shoved you with his elbow when he did like this to your chest.
Oh, see, I remember that part.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And
so
I flipped
that's
out.
when the cops got called the first time. We won't go into the second time the cops got called. The
That's
second
another
time
story.
the cops got called on me. But we'll talk about that in another episode.
Our lives are crazy.
Let's get into Melanie's story time
Let's get into
because
this dick on the
I
sheets, though.
really want to know about Dick on My Sheets because I remember parts of this story, but I don't remember the whole story. So while you guys are listening for the tea, I am too. So tell your story.
All right, check it. Boom. Living in Charlotte, met this guy. He was he worked at the airport. I'm gonna call this guy
Airport Bob.
Airport Bob. So Airport Bob worked at the airport, and he was also like a motivational type speaker as well. So I met him. He invited me over. He invited me to church. All right, cool. And we go to church, and when I walk in the church, it's like the whole world just stopped and everybody just started staring at me. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm sitting there. So when I come in, they were all praying in like a circle. So I ain't know the rules and regulations. I stayed by the door. Then I look at me like, I'm like, oh, do I come in now? So I join the circle and I sit down in the back.
This song got called.
I don't know what's happening. So I sat in the back of the church. Visitors to stand. I stood up. They asked who I was, where I came from. I gave my name. They said, well, who invited you? I said, Airport Bob. As soon as I said this guy's name, it's like it just got silent, and they all looked and just shook and just stared at him. I'm like, what the heck did I get myself into? I'm not even sitting with this guy. He's on the other side of the church. I'm just sitting in the back. So after the service, everybody comes to me. Thank you for coming out. We really enjoyed your company. Come back next Sunday. And the church service was really nice. It was a nice service.
So
it wasn't anything crazy like a color or anything, no. After church, we go out to eat. And we just hanging out. So time goes on, time progresses. We keep talking, chilling out, hanging or whatever. And we went to this club in Charlotte called, I believe it's called the Blue Note. Something like that. And my peoples was singing that night, and it was like a live band. So I invited my homegirls out. Her husband came out. My friends from work came out, and he came with me. He comes in the door. Oh, I shoot this for everybody. Hey, this, and he sits down. The whole entire time we were sitting down talking, he was like singing mad loud, out of tune, just like
was he drunk?
Singing. No, he wasn't drunk. He thinks he can sing.
Oh, so, okay.
So he was singing real loud. Everybody was like, yo, can you tell him to shut up? Like, there's a live band. So he's like singing over the band. They're looking at him like, yo, could you like... So I'm getting embarrassed. So I'm like, yo, like, you can't please. And he's like trying to like, whoa, well. He was kept running. I'm like, where you running to? It's over. So my homegirl was looking at me like
he's a weirdo.
You're weird. So I'm singing as I do with songs, but not like he is. And I'm like banging on the table and stuff. And my homegirl was like, yo, how do you deal with her? He said, I don't.
Nigga, what?
And she looked at him like, whatever. So she looked at me, I was like, and I couldn't say anything. It was like awkward
story. Okay.
It was like awkward silence. And at the night, he has to go to work because he also did paper route.
It's the paper route guy.
It's paper route.
Okay.
So it's paper route. So he had to do paper route. So that night he said, man, I want to go home. I said, well, I'm not ready to go yet. I'll drop you back off at my house. I'll come back out here. Because I'm not ready to go yet.
Was his car at your house?
Yes. He drove in my car.
When you dropped him off, did you think he was going to get his car and leave, or you knew he was
I thought he was going to stay all night, but I forgot he had to do paper route that night.
Okay.
So, and he didn't know how long he was going to stay either.
Okay.
So, I drop him off at my house. I come back out, enjoy my night, like really enjoy myself, not because it's just me, with my peoples, and we're having fun. The night comes to a close. I go to my house, and it's calling me. I'm like, yo, I'm not ready to go yet. Like, I'll be there. Like, stop blowing me up. Like, chill out. I'll be there in a minute. I said, so when you get there, you should be gone because it's time to do your paper route. So I come home, driving. He's still calling me. I didn't answer. I go to my house,
Did you see him?
and the house, I saw his car,
Okay.
and I'm like, why is he still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Go in my house. My house is pitch black. I said, all right, his car's here. So I'm like, go in the room, and he's like in my bed. I'm like,
Wait, where did you think he was gonna be at though?
On my couch. What?
Had he ever been in your bed before?
No.
Had he ever been in your house
We
before?
have never had intercourse, nothing like that.
So, has he ever been in your house before?
Yes. On my couch. Why are you in my room on my bed?
Okay, go ahead.
So he's in my room, and it's dark. I'm like, why are you in my... So I turn my light on. I pull the sheets back, and this man is butt naked. I say, are you ridiculous with my sheets? Why are you ridiculous? He was butt ass naked in my bed. Butt ass naked.
That's so unsanitary.
And me being me, I said, excuse me, are you dick on my sheets? Like, why are you in my bed with your dick
That's
out?
the first thing you said to him.
I did.
Your dick is on my sheets.
Right. So let me just run around right quick. So when I first met this guy, he will always brag about himself.
Like how he was
just being cocky and like, I'm this, I got this. Mind you, he was a very, very nice looking guy. Like, I won't take that away from him at all. He was really nice looking. But he was just overly over me with everything. So as we were getting dressed, if I gotta say this part, as we were getting dressed, this man didn't have no drawers on, takes his pants off, and it's just slanging.
Wait, what? No, I'm confused. So, okay, you come in the house, it's pitch
No.
black.
When he comes to my house to get dressed, to go
out. Going out. Okay.
And he gets dressed, and I come in my room, and it's just out. Like,
you should have expected his dick to be on your sheets if you walked in the house before y'all left.
Why you got no drawers on? Just walking around sweating all day? It's Charlotte weather. If everybody knows Charlotte weather, it's hot outside. It's even hot at nighttime in the summertime.
You probably should expect.
So I'm like, okay, maybe he left his drawers in his bag or something. Like, maybe his drawers in his bag.
But were y'all at that point? Because
we weren't even at that point.
So my question is, were y'all at the point where y'all getting dressed in front of each other?
No, I was already dressed when he got to my house.
So you're in your room. I
said, you can get dressed in my room. That's fine. I knocked on my door and said, well, are you dressed? Can I come in? He said, yeah, you can come in. At that point, he said he had his regular clothes on. I come out my bathroom, and his dick is out. Why are you so impressed to show me your penis? I don't want to see that right now.
Well, because he wanted to put things in other things.
And I was not about that, doing those things. Because we're just...
Humping and dumping.
What's humping and dumping? What was even kissing and missing?
That's what he was ready for.
Oh, he was ready to do that. And I wasn't ready for that. So after that, it was a complete turn off, y'all. Like why would you...
No. You gotta go back. So when you walk in the house, his penis is on your sheets.
Okay, boom. Penis on my sheets. I said, excuse me. Why are you dick on my sheets? He's like, oh, man, I'm not going out. I'm not going to work tonight. I still thought we just get in the bed. Excuse me. At that point, get dressed. I don't know what kind of girl you think I am. You don't come in my house and just come in and butt naked like this on my sheets, on my side of the bed, and it's dark out. It's dark in here.
That's probably what happened. He probably heard your key turn. Was like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
It's Mr. Nasty
he was
time.
Like, taking off his shirt. He already got no drawers on, so I got to just take off his pants. Did he have socks on? I have a thing with no socks. Okay.
He had no socks on.
He didn't have no. Okay, good. I don't like people with socks on in the bed. That's just weird to me. But anyway, so he got in the bed. He was like, oh yeah, she gonna come in here and see me, and it's about to get bounced.
It's about to get bounce out because I was not about to do that.
That's what.
Get your clothes on, get dressed, and I never talked to him again.
That's paper route. See, I didn't put two and two together. I just thought this was like something else, and then there was paper route.
Paper route.
Dang.
Paper route was disrespectful. The next day, he apologized. I was like, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't want to see your face. You're hella disrespectful. You're going to show me your dick all the time like it's some kind of a picture. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see your dick.
He was ready.
I wasn't ready. And for you to force that in my house, in my space, in my sheets,
so
with your dick, and it's hanging there. Like,
okay. That's a lot of detail.
Get out.
That's so weird. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I would react if someone we've never had sex, we've only been hanging out, like, at the house in the living room. And then I'm like, no, you can go hang out at the house until you go see a paper route. I'm going to go back out. And I come home.
And you're in my bed.
Like, in my bed, butt-ass naked.
Right, ready.
Like, ready to go.
Ready to get steady.
Then I not ready for that.
I wasn't ready for it.
That's disgusting.
It was gross. And it was a complete turn
off.
off. I slept on my sofa that night. It was too late to wash my sheets and my comforter. And I'm very private of who I let in my room and my bed. Like, why would you disrespect my place? That's my space and my place.
Well, did he have an excuse, or did he just say sorry?
I'm sorry.
Did he have a reason?
There was no reason. If it was, I don't remember. I didn't care enough to remember what it was.
So he just go around Charlotte putting his penis on people's sheets?
Let me tell you the backstory. So I asked him, I said, so this is before the dick of my sheets happened. He was like, oh, I said, why when I came into church, everybody was staring at me? Oh, because I slept with her right there and her right there.
So you just running through the church? You should have went back to the
Run
church.
through all the missionaries, missionary.
Missionary. My story wasn't that bad.
Your story was definitely bad.
My story, well, I feel like that's more normal.
They
Like
get your dick squeezed.
running on the railroad tracks and flip-flops, I feel like that's normal.
Okay.
Riding around and getting it.
That's
making
definitely
his homeboy
normal.
Getting in the car with kidnapping.
Totally normal.
My story was totally
normal.
Climbing in them neighbor's yard in the jungle.
With no shoes on. Totally normal.
Totally normal.
This is what we do.
Your story, on the other hand, was disgusting. It was so unsanitary.
It was super
You
unsanitary.
probably had little.
I don't know. Okay, all right. Next week, next Tuesday, another episode will drop. Tune in next time, please. Thank you. We love you.
Bye. Oh, I like hearing that.
Okay, well then hear it.
I don't want to look different. I'm different.
Come
yeah,
on, because
I'm
you gotta
different.
record with the
Pull up to the scene with my cylinder missing. Pull up to the scene. Pull up to the scene with my cylinder missing. Pull up to the scene with my cylinder missing.
You're annoying.
Pull up to
You're
the scene with my cylinder
Hey,
missing.
boom.
Pull up to the scene. Pull up to the scene with my cylinder
Yeah,
missing.
oh.